Okay, so I have switched over to a new recording file as we transition into the out of character memorial portion of the memorial for Thomas Byfield, aka Seeras, Child of the Light. We've just completed the in character portion of the memorial service in Amador, in a new room of the park. And I can't even begin to describe what's going on, but there are so many players in attendance for this memorial service that it's just mind-boggling. Newer players who only had the pleasure of knowing Tommy for a short time, old players who've known him for over a decade, and some of whom had stopped playing and came back when they heard what happened because they wanted to be present for this today. So right now, this is basically just a freestanding talk out of character, and Slaylock has gone visible. As immortals, we can go invisible or visible at will, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go visible to everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I need to be aware that Tommy's brother Sam and his mother Sharon have been with us in the Twitch room watching this live, and they are still with us now. And I'm not sure who else is joining us on the Twitch channel right now, because it doesn't actually tell me who's here unless you say something. But if anybody else from the real life friends or family Tommies are present and watching us live, or if you come and you watch this at a later time, just know that we valued him very much. He was a good guy, and he will be missed. And I'm just back scrolling and taking a look at what everyone is saying. A lot of people passing their condolences to the family. Sam and Sharon, everyone here, just Tommy touched everybody's lives one way or another. Now, some of the players, as they've said their piece, are going to leave and go do other things in the game, or go to an inn and rent out so that their file is saved. I know a lot of players are leaving because I've been getting some messages about just how intensely they're feeling about all of this. So some of them are going to excuse themselves and just go stop and think for a while. And some of the characters are leaving behind mementos such as silver spurs, wildflowers, ribbons, things like that. And we're giving everybody directions to go to the tavern. It's called the Blue Grape. It's actually a location in the books in Amador, and people are going to go there to have their out of character event. And I'm going to wait for the room to clear out here and then move over to there. Yes, 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 I'm coming, I promise. And it looks like we're pretty much cleared out, so I'm going to go over to the Blue Grape using my handy dandy M commands to not actually have to walk and just go there magically. Happily, this is actually the part where things will probably get a little bit lighter because we're not actually in character role playing now. Not that we don't have fun role playing, but this is where the players can actually talk about Tommy the player instead of as child Seeras the character. At least that's in theory how this goes. We basically are just letting people step up to the mic and say whatever they need to say, whatever's in their heart, so that they can pass on some words. one of the things about Tommy that was really interesting is that he always logged into the game looking for something to do. He never logged into the game and just kind of sat there pretending to not do something like a bump on a log. He never just phoned it in. He actually jumped in, and he was always looking to help players. And one of the people speaking now, Tark, he says basically he started playing again about 9 months ago. He had been playing with us for a while, and then he stepped away for a couple of years, came back, and was completely lost. And he says that Tommy was one of the first people that he ran into that actually helped him. And that's a big thing in our community because we're a text-based game. There's nothing visual to look at to help guide you. You're relying on a bunch of strangers that you don't know who are typing things to you, both in character, out of character, trying to help you understand game mechanics, the whole thing. And Tommy was one of those people who would just step up and say, if you're a newbie, come talk to me. I will help you. And that was one of the fun things that set him apart from some of our other players, is he was always willing to help. He loved to do what's called smobbing, when you go after a super mob with a big treasure, and he would just grab people. Like Tark just said that Tommy took Tark out on his character and hit a smob and grabbed him some shiny equipment off of that smob just to get him restarted again. And that's the type of player that we like to have at Wheel of Time Mud. Somebody who can take the time to step out and look at what other people need and is willing to step forward and help in that way. That's pretty unselfish. There are some days when I log on to the game and I just want to get my work done as a staff member and as an owner and get out, because it's my responsibility. It's something I have to do. But Tommy, if he saw me, if I was visible, he almost always took the time to send me a private message that said, hey Viv, hi, how you doing? Send me a smiley face, whatever. And that always made such a difference to me. At that point, it felt less like work and more like I was in helping some friends enjoy a game too. What's Ashley saying? I think the one consistent thing that's coming across, and Ashley saying the same thing, is that did a lot of smobbing, was a great leader for those types of in-game adventures, and he was an incredibly nice player and one of the best Child of the Light role players that Ashley has known. And Ashley agrees with a lot of people that it's a huge loss for him to be gone, obviously, because he's gone and we will miss him. And then Fujin, the player of Fujin, had to leave, but Fujin asked Ashley to say something very specific. I've known Seeras/Tommy for years. I can't recall exactly how long it's been, but he's one of the few people that, when playing a new character, I would let him know who I was. And that's pretty true. I mean, like I said, he would just help new people. He loved to help new players to the game, or even people who were starting new characters and needed help with experience or adventuring or equipment or whatever. He would just step up to the plate and say, "Yeah, come on, let's go have some fun." And even though, again, Ashley's saying this, she's saying this for Fujin, who had to leave because of the time difference. Over the years, the two of us occupied similar positions in our clans and done many things together. I've always considered the children allies of Tyr, but Seeras was more than that. He was a brother and he was a friend. I could go months without playing, months without seeing him, and when I came back, it was always, "Hey bro, how you been? You want a smob?" As if nothing had changed, and that's a mark of a friend when time and distance change nothing. We always talked about mastering, but I got lazy. I always talked to him about joining the children, but he never got around to sending me the clanning requirements. Now I have two goals that I feel I must accomplish. Tommy was a great friend and a great person. He taught me to enjoy the finer things and life, and that kindness given is a kindness earned. I will truly miss you. Wow, I just looked at the total number of people who are joining us live for this broadcast. It's a lot of people watching this on Twitch. So thank you guys for being with us and for joining with us on this. And I'm just waiting for some things to be said in the game so that I can read them more as a cohesive whole. And in a little bit, we're going to wind this down. We're going to let the players who want to continue to be in the Blue Grape just talking informally, but we're going to regroup the Children of the Light in character, and we're going to go to the Tomb of Lothair Mantalar and resume the roleplay event and lay Seeras to rest as a character. Taydeli wanted to convey that in her opinion, Tommy was a window that allowed the Creator's light to shine through, and a mirror that reflected the best in us. One of the people watching the Twitch broadcast live instead of in the game just went into the chat room and said to Tommy's family, "Thanks heaps for stopping by and seeing us in our nerdy ways. He will be missed by us all," with a little smiley face. Yeah, totally nerdy ways. Got that. Agreed. Tamira says, "There's not much left to say that hasn't been said. So here's to good scotch, good music, good people, and good times." Yeah, I'll drink to that. Good scotch, definitely. I think it pretty much is self-explanatory that we've got the good people and the good times right here. And I was just told for people who are just at this second part of the broadcast, just watching or now listening to this part, we do have with us in the Twitch broadcast and in the chat room, we have Tommy's mom, Sharon, and Tommy's brother, Sam, and also uh, joining us just now signing in are Tommy's sister, brother-in-law, and wife. So not Tommy's wife. I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. Basically, we have a lot of Tommy's family who are joining us here on the Twitch channel right now. So, and Sam says that he feels rather at home because Tom and he share nerdy genes and habits. Weir is talking about how he basically plays on another side of the map. We have a huge gaming map, but Weir prefers to stay on the northeast side of the map for how he plays his character, where he's most comfortable. And he's talking about how the only times that he would really come down south, which is where Amador is, was if Tommy put out a call for a smob adventure run, then he would come down. So basically, same as Ashley's. The only times that they would come down is if Seeras was going to lead an adventure, if Tommy was sending out tells saying, "Dude, I need to go hit this mob, I've got to go do this, I've got to kill this monster, I need help," people would just come and play, and that's half the fun. He's talking about something that I felt too, was it was so normal to log on at certain times of day, and Tommy would be on, usually on Seeras. He had other characters that he played, but most notably he would get on Seeras. And it is so weird to log onto the game at a time that you would expect that he would be on and not see him calling people up to, go on this adventure, go kill this monster, go get this thing, let's go do this type of thing. It's just weird. And it's been a weird vibe on the mud the past 2 weeks on the game, just because we expect certain things to be said. We expect certain things to happen. We expect certain things to be seen. And it's like, wait a minute. It's all missing. It's all wrong. There's an empty part here. So we were saying, he's talking about how shortly after Tommy passed, he already missed the nightly smog calls that we were used to getting around the pre-reboot time, because we have to reset the game every day to keep it running smoothly. It was just kind of weird to log on and not see him leading an adventure group. So in a minute here, I'm going to be typing into the game, into the players, some of the things that you've said, Sharon and Sam, and if anybody else has anything that they would like me to convey back to the players, um, I'll be happy to pass it on. And then I think I'm going to prepare for the final roleplay session, going back in character for Seeras. Sam's teasing me in chat right now because he caught my slip about how I read it out, and it could have been misconstrued that Tommy's wife was here. And well, Tommy's not married; he doesn't have a wife. And here's Sam going, "No, no, no, my wife, my wife." Sorry about that. The person who's about to speak now is on the character of Tala. Tala is an extremely nice person, and Tala and Seeras as characters were not close. As players, they had a great time together, and um, while no one person's grief is more than anybody else's, I can definitely say that this player ranks up there in the top 10 of people who just keep saying to me, "Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, this is a big joke, right? This didn't really happen." So she's still getting past and working through some things. Yeah. And Tala starts off with how I would definitely start off. Seeras drove me nuts. Yeah, Tommy drove me nuts. I think that kind of would cover it too. I mean, in a nutshell, Tommy drove us all nuts, but all in a good kind of way, because he would want to role play and be in character, and then he would just zing you with something from out of the blue, out of nowhere. You get this tell or say or pray or whatever, and you would stop and you would read it 2, 3, 4 times, like, what? What did he just say? And then he'd be back in character again. And I can't tell you how many times I would be reading the screen, maybe taking a sip of water or something, and suddenly I was choking because I couldn't swallow because I was trying to laugh. And obviously, those things don't come together very well. Teralza has come into chat and said, so sorry for your family's loss. I hope this event helped show what impact Tommy had to the community of our game. Very well said, Teralza. That's very well said. Big impact. Tell been talking about how Seeras as a character would giggle a lot. She just thought that that was wrong, that men just shouldn't giggle, but he did it anyway just to get to her. She says that Tommy made her laugh, drove her nuts, shared a part of himself with her, gave her advice. Did I say that he drove me nuts? That's a direct quote. And he giggled. And she's done. So she says, keep rocking, Tommy. The person who plays Leif had to leave again because of the time zone difference, and she has to go to work in a couple hours and has had no sleep because of the time difference. But you read what she asked to be said. Seeras always made me feel welcome amongst the children. His insightful empathy in knowing I wished I could serve within the ranks of the children. Often saw him invite me on patrols with him and the others, mobbing, etc., during raids. He made me feel like an honorary child. He always strove to keep his company safe during our outings, including me. He helped me realize we can serve the light in many ways, and sometimes our calling to the, and we're cut off. Our calling to the what, Leif? Our calling to the light was not necessarily within the ranks of the children themselves. His support of me as the children's healer was invaluable to my staying to serve the light as best as I could. He helped me find my place in Amador. So that was a nice in-character remembrance. Leif plays a wisdom, so if you're familiar with the Wheel of Time, you know what a wisdom is, and that's a love-hate relationship with the children of the light, I'll tell you. And it looks like we are going to wrap up the out of character statement, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to relay the messages from Sharon and from Sam. So if anybody else is watching us in the Twitch channel right now and it's the live broadcast, now would be a great time for you to put into the chat bar anything you would like me to relay back to the players. No pressure. It's all good. How many people do we have? The player of Vlad is speaking right now, and he's been playing at the Wheel of Time Mud for a long, long time. His original character was created sometime end of 1999, beginning of 2000. And he says, "Those who know me know that I'm not the type to love everyone, but I loved Seeras. I created Vlad for Seeras. They wanted to play together." Every once in a while, you come across those players that just have that thing and that knack you can't explain. And he says, Seeras was that guy, truly the best of us, one of a kind. The times we spent together doing absolutely nothing, dying in the tower like newbies, he's just an extraordinary person. Okay, so how many people do we have for this part? Still a good amount. And the final part where the children in Hand of the Light go back in character will be very, very small and very intimate. Probably maybe only 10 of us at the most. And that will be the formal ceremony for Seeras. Sam, Tommy's brother in chat, just put up, man, he would have loved a White Tower invasion, I bet. Okay, Sam, let me clear this up for you. There were many, 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 many times that there was a White Tower invasion, where your brother would be on Seeras and a couple other children or Hand of Light would be on, and even myself, I would be on, either as an M or as one of my COL, HOL characters, and we would just go raid the White Tower. We would smack down novices left, right, and center, help a couple accepteds understand that they were really, really in the wrong. Oh, there's an Aes Sedai there. She needs a knife in her back. Doesn't that look pretty? Yeah, there were a lot of tower raids, successful tower raids. And he did love them. You're absolutely right. He loved those moments. Tlaylock is speaking right now, and again, Tlaylock is a member of our staff. He's basically, between him and Itesh, I don't know which one is my right hand man. Maybe I got a right hand and I got a left hand, but Tlaylock and Itesh, without them, I wouldn't be able to get done half the stuff I managed to get done around the mud, and I trust them and how they look at players, very much so. And he's talking about how to him, and I'm going to say to me also, Seeras was what we call a game maker. He would start adventures. He would start role play sessions. He would just start stuff because, again, he didn't log on just to sit around. He logged on to play. And if there wasn't something going on that looked interesting to him, instead of going, oh man, there's nothing to do, I'm logging off, his attitude was, oh man, there's nothing to do, well, let's go make something to do. And that was half the fun. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet and muttering to myself as I type things into the game here, because we're going to add in some things and some comments from the friends and family in the Twitch channel. First of all, everyone, thank you so much. In the Twitch channel, we have Sharon, Tommy's mom, and his brother, Sam, and his sister, and brother-in-law, Sam's wife, Everyone, please say hi because they've been watching you. And they're all waving and saying hi. The family asked me to pass some words to all of you. Sam says, would you also mind letting everyone know that my copy of A Memory of Light was given to me by Tom, so I will treasure it. I put in, Sharon is Tommy's mom, and she says, wow, that was amazing, thank you. I feel I know more about Tommy and this other world he inhabited. Sad but teary. Check the Twitch channel. Oh, okay, Tommy's nephew's also here, left his Uncle Tom. Sharon, specifically for you. You raised an amazing son. A lot of the players are passing on some direct messages. Tay says, thank you so much for letting him be a part of our lives. He made the world brighter for all of us. And I know someone from the family told me last week that it was really hard sometimes to understand why Tommy was so engrossed with a computer game, with a text-based game, they just didn't get it, but they kind of put up with it because, he loved to do it. And I hope that this has given you an idea that there was a whole other world out there that he was a part of, that we got to share with him, and he was extremely valued. Okay, guys, that's it from the fam for now. Laylock has one small thing to do with us. So in advance, and again, thank you all. This means more than you could possibly.